Hello everyone, welcome to our Big Data Concepts and Ecosystems course. As you can tell from the title, this course is mainly about the relevant concepts and the enterprise-level big data ecosystems for interests. And the objectives of this course is very clear. We hope that after this course, you can be able to understand the current status and history of big data, understand the big data ecosystems we introduced in this course, and master the trends and applications of big data technologies. So next, let's jump into the first chapter, which is about an overall introduction about big data era. Honestly speaking, we are currently in the fourth industrial revolution, which is leading us to the intelligent era. Before this era, we have experienced many industrial revolutions, as shown in the slide. Like in 1760s, the UK took the lead in launching the first industrial revolution, bringing the world into the age of steam. As a result, the UK became the first industrialized country in the world and brought a series of social changes. Then, in the late 1860s, the second industrial revolution began. With the large-scale use of AC power, we entered the age of electricity. The third industrial revolution is marked by the invention and application of atomic energy, electronic computers, space technology, and bioengineering. It is a revolution of science and technology involving many fields such as information technology, new energy technology, new material technology, biotechnology, space technology, and marine technology. The United States has gradually gained its power during the Third Industrial Revolution, also known as the Information Revolution. The fourth revolution of science and technology is unfolding with the convergence of new IT technologies such as cloud computing, big data, IoT, and AI. The thing is who can respond to the call of the times and become the trendsetter. But how to become the trendsetter? There is still a long way to go, but firstly, we need to change our way of thinking. Here, we mentioned one idea which says that operators need to transform their main sites to adapt to the digital and information era. Under such circumstances, we need to move from data management to data operations. Here we can see three sentences, and together we give you three examples. Firstly, data drives experience. And the corresponding example is the data labels used in business scenarios, including accurate marketing. Have you heard of the recommendation system? Actually, it is just how Amazon makes money. For example, I have been searching for cookers for a while on Amazon, and next time I log into it, I would be most likely advertised with some frying pans or even some teapots, right? So just like this simple example, the enterprises like Amazon or YouTube just label the users based on their behaviors and features, and all the behaviors and features are nothing but just data. Secondly, data drives decision-making. There is another example. As is known to all, in recent life, oil plays an essential role, right? But how to determine where is proper for digging oil? Again, based on the data. But now we mainly rely on the historical data like data for the past 50 years. And based on this, some technical methods like data mining and data visualization, we can make decisions more easily and more convincingly. Thirdly, data drives processes. We are currently in the big data era, and every process involves many types of data collisions. Like we pay for our lunch by credit cards or by mobile phones or like transferring money to our friends in the bank, almost everything now requires data flowing efficiently. And also, we can use the big data methods to help us simplify all the processes as well. Alright, so nowadays we keep talking about big data all the time, but what is big data? Actually, no one can give a certain definition. From the Wikipedia, big data is datasets that are so voluminous and complex that traditional data processing application software is inadequate to deal with them. But is that all about big data? Here, we give you 4 V's for description. These 4 V's are developed based on the basis of the 3 V's originally issued by IBM, and now it is widely accepted in big data industry. To be more specific, the 4 V's are actually 4 features of big data. The first V is volume, and of course, the volume of big data must be enormous. Does anyone know the units of the data measurement? So commonly we use byte, kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, petabyte, exabyte, zettabyte, etc. to describe the data volume, right? And in general, we call the data as big data whose volume is above terabyte at least. And to give you a direct impression, there is an example. Basically, an SD movie lasting for 1.5 hours is about 1 gigabyte. So, if you download more than 1,000 movies at the same time, you can say you are dealing with the big data. Okay? Alright? The second V means variety. And in big data era, we need to process data of different types. In general, the data can be divided into 3 types: structured data, semi-structured data, and unstructured data. The structured data usually resides in relational databases as 2-dimensional tables. And in the databases, we have fields which store length delineated data like phone numbers, social security numbers, or zip codes, etc. And the unstructured data includes pictures, videos, and audios, etc. Or namely, unstructured data either does not have a predefined data model or is not organized in a predefined manner. And the semi-structured data mostly refers to the web page files in HTML, XML, YAML, or JSON formats. Okay, and the third V is velocity. From the result of the research, the data we generated in the recent 5 years is much more than the data generated in 5,000 past years. The explosive growth of data demands that we need to increase our velocity on dealing with this information. The fourth one means value. All of the data is variable according to the different practical problem, but since the volume of data is huge, maybe only a small part of it are useful for handling a specific problem. To some extent, the original data is like fossil oil, which needs to be extracted or processed, just like the oil should be refined from petroleum. So what is the differences between the traditional data processing and data processing in the big data era? Here, we use a vivid analogy to introduce their differences. The traditional data processing is like fishing in the pond, while big data processing is like fishing in the ocean. And to be more specific, we can draw a table as follows. Firstly, as we already know, the volume of big data is huge. In the traditional data processing, the data are usually scaled by megabytes or gigabytes, while in most cases, we have to deal with data in at least terabyte level or even petabyte in big data processing. Besides, the variety of big data is more than the traditional data. In traditional data processing, there is mostly structured data. In RDB, But in big data processing, now we get structured, semi-structured, and non-structured data in different cases. Moreover, in the past, we get used to generating the mode of data processing before finding data which fits this mode. By contrast, nowadays we get data first, then come up with the different mode to deal with the data. And meanwhile, keep the mode evolving when data increase. For the objective of the data processing, the goal of traditional data processing is to analyze the data and get some existing information or regularity from the data we have. But the big data processing is to predict the future. So, in order to make our prediction as accurate as possible, we need many machine learning or deep learning algorithms for help. And finally, for the processing tool, traditionally, we can use the relational databases to process all the structured data. But now, in big data era, data has many variety, and the processing tool also varies a lot from batch processing to stream processing. Alright, that's all for this chapter, and to sum up, we introduced current big data strategies for each country for these features of big data and current situation of big data. Hope you guys enjoyed all the contents in this chapter and see you in the next chapter.